So how is Cardiff Council preparing for this huge day tomorrow? What a sort of preparation and planning goes into a royal visit? Well, Councillor Rodney Berman is former leader of Cardiff Council. Good morning, Rodney.
Good morning.
I mean, just hearing from David there, this is a huge operation and covering 3 locations. How does a council prepare for such a big day and understandably at such short notice?
Well, there'll be a lot of frantic behind-the-scenes work going on. The council has quite an experienced major events team, but I don't think they'll necessarily have dealt with an event of quite this sort of type before. But we also have, staff in the protocol office who are very good at understanding, how to get the arrangements in place for these kind of events. So I imagine those staff will have been working together, doing an awful lot of planning, an awful lot of logistics sorting out, making sure that things are okay on the ground as well. I mean, that there'll have been a lot of effort gone in to make sure that the city is looking at its best for where the king is going to be, and that there probably will have been some rehearsing going on of movements that will have to take place at certain places to make sure that the people who are going to be there know what's roughly going to happen, so that they've planned for that. And
I guess, as you say, a lot of meetings going on and a lot of conversations needing to be had, because I guess in a situation like this, Rodney, that the palace will determine what they want, and then Welsh Government and the council all have to work together and liaise.
Yes, absolutely. There'll be a lot of meetings bringing people together, but also I would imagine with the media, because having the media being able to sort of record what's happening is very much a fundamental part of that, because the world is watching here. So everybody will be aware of the importance of what's going on, just trying to make everything work. But also, we've heard about the fact that the council will be expecting, crowds to want to come and spectate, and putting out advice that it's perhaps better for them to go to the castle and the Senedd, because it's going to be more restricted at Land of Cathedral. So getting those messages out is also important. Making sure you've got adequate crowd control measures, making sure you've done things to close roads so that everything can operate smoothly. All of that is part of the equation too.
Yeah, and how important is flexibility in all of this, Rodney? I mean, we know when it comes to royal events, things are often, timed to the second. Things are always very specifically timed to where the royal party needs to be. But I guess in terms of crowds and going from one location to another, that there needs to be a bit of flexibility in all of this.
Oh, absolutely. I think the situation has to be monitored, and potentially arrangements have to be adapted if things change. Timings may change. There can be hold-ups with traffic, for instance. You can never predict everything down to the exact nanosecond. So there has to be a little bit of flexibility in the plans. But I think a lot of the people who will be working on the arrangements will be thinking about that. Be thinking about what if this went wrong? What if that went wrong? And working out how they would deal with that. So all of that will be part of the planning that's gone on.
And with things that the city has taken on before, I remember being part of Geraint Thomas's homecoming when he won the Tour de France, and we've had many, haven't we, open-top bus parades for different football teams. I mean, is there a sense that the city can manage this? We kind of know what to do?
I would think so, yes. I mean, as you say, there's been a lot of different events over the years which have involved big crowds coming. I remember, I think that the biggest event that I was possibly involved with when I was council leader was the National Armed Forces Day, which was held down in the Bay. There was an awful lot of logistics going on there. There were royal presences there because we had the then Prince of Wales and, of course, now King Charles and with Camilla, now the Queen Consort as well. So they were there, part of that, but lots of members of the government as well, the military, lots of events to go on. So the city does have a strong track record of planning these major logistical events, and I'm sure a lot of that learned experience will be put to good use today, or tomorrow rather.
Good to talk to you. Thank you very much for your insight into all of that. Councillor Rodney Berman there, former leader of Cardiff Council.